Hello everyone, this is Kidra and this video is all about finding the chunk border. It's an upgrade video on my witch farm tutorial, and as requested I'm gonna try to explain to you guys how you can find the chunk border easier to do that chunk tower that I suggested you to do. So the way we start off is you gotta make a decision where you want to have your chunk tower. You basically have four options, right? It's either this side, the side at the back, this side, or this side. But all you got to keep in mind, or the important part is rather, on what coordinate those side is on. Like for this example over here, if we move back and forth, we can tell that the x coordinate is increasing and decreasing. Alright, so that means we got to focus on the x coordinate on this side. Obviously it's going to be the same for this side over here. X is increasing and decreasing as well. So, but for this example we're going to choose this side over here. And here we can tell it's the set coordinate that is increasing or decreasing. Alrighty? So once we chose our direction and figured out the coordinate we're on, we now got to check if the number is in or decreasing when we move away from the farm. Now in this case, as you can tell, if we move away, the number is increasing. I know it kind of looks like it's decreasing, but keep in mind it's a negative number, and if a negative number gets smaller, the value is actually increasing. So what I usually do now is, I just take a spot, like, let's say, right here. So we are at minus 4,329. Now we take that very number and divide it by 16. That's going to give us minus 270.5625. It doesn't really matter what exactly. All we need to know is it's an uneven number. Because one thing that you can tell about the chunk borders is if you divide the x or z coordinate by 16, you are on the chunk border, at least on the row of blocks. But we'll get to that in a second. Now, what you take with that number is, since the number is increasing if we move away from the farm, we round it down. So we take our 270.5 something. Round it down to 270, multiply it by 16, and that's going to give us minus 4,320. Now let's get to that spot. That's going to be right here. Now let me bring this up. Is it right here? Yeah, we're okay. So what we can tell is that this line of blocks is part of the chunk border. And you can already tell here, if I move in this direction, keep an eye on the LC value. It is decreasing if I move in this direction. It's going to go down to 36. But you might not have, there's a good chance that the LC value for all the chunks in the area is the same, so you can't tell as easy as I can tell here. Now what you got to keep in mind is, once you figured out that row of blocks, the row of blocks itself is not the actual chunk border. It is a line next to that row of blocks, like this line over here or this line over here. And to be able to tell which line it is, you just take the number of the blue row the blue row of blocks here, which is 4,320. You kind of ignore that it's a negative number right now and just do minus 1 and you'll get the chunk border. So minus 1 will be 4,319. That is over here. And there you can tell. Or over here it's pretty obvious due to the LC value increasing and decreasing. This line right here. So we got to get rid of that. This line right here is the chunk border. I'm going to give you another example on the other side, since this can be kind of hard, I know, to understand if you don't do stuff like that. So we're just gonna do it again. Okay, we are on the set coordinate, that much we know. Now if we move away from the farm, the number is decreasing this time. So let's choose a spot. We are on 4,370 minus, that is. Divide that by 16. That's gonna give us 273.1 something. The number was it decreasing? I already forgot, sorry. Yeah, it was decreasing if we move away from the farm. So we round it up and that's gonna give us 274 times 16. That's 4,384. This is right here. Yep. So let's draw our blue line here again so we can see that better. Now let's ignore that this is a negative number, and we just take the 4,384 minus 1. That is going to be over here. So this line right here is supposed to be our chunk border. You can't tell right now, since the LC value is the same. And to check on it, I can easily go up. Alrighty, on this side it's now 79. Let's see if we cross this line, if it decreases again, and that is the case. So I hope this helps you finding your chunk border. Over here actually we went way out, you know, it's way too far. We could have, the initial block that I chose was a bit too far away. But if you get something out of that, like if you do it the way I explained it to you right here, and you end up way out here, you know, you can easily tell. You're just gonna take 16 blocks, or do it a little closer to the witch farm. It's either way, it's fine, you know. So you can have your chunk border, your chunk tower closer to the witch farm, because this is obviously, yeah, a little far away. So I know it's this can be kind of tricky to figure it out. Keep in mind, you know, I always have to check on it. It's not like, oh, okay, the chunk border is right here. So it's a lot of calculating sometimes and counting blocks and stuff. So you can, you know, there's a good chance that you mess it up on your first try. Happens to me a lot too. So, but I hope this helped as requested. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.